Happy St. Patrick's Day from Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Leprechaun Returns. He's back to shamrock your world.
Directed by Steven Kostanski, starring Taylor Spreitler, Pepi Sonuga, Sai Bennett, Emily Reed, and Linden Porco as the Leprechaun. Leprechaun Returns is actually a direct sequel to the original Leprechaun from 1993. Fast forward 25 years, and Jennifer Aniston, Tori, her daughter Lila, is returning to her old home to work on a sorority project. Unfortunately, this is where her mother battled an evil leprechaun who was after his gold. Once thought dead, now risen like bread.
25 years then? I've got a lot of killing to make up for.
The Lep is back, and now he's still looking for his gold, and he's gonna kill anybody so he can find it. Now, what do we like?
I like how this film segued itself into being a sequel to the first one. It made sense, and the throwback references were there, which was a lot of fun. To the point where we have Mark Holton, who played Ozzy in the first film, come back and reprise his role. And they kept it consistent. His ear was messed up.
Starting off that way just makes fans of the series realize, like, okay, they are actually paying attention to the source material here, and they give a shit. The first time we get to see the Leprechaun, he's cracking jokes.
When did I get better looking?
He's not a friggin' goblin troll thing like he was in the WWE rendition. He's very similar to the way that Warwick Davis portrayed the character that we all love. And I thought Linden did a great job. He's rhyming all the time, and he's just a fun, creepy leprechaun.
In this one, they kept with the idea that he was fascinated with cleaning shoes and using shoes to distract him. That was really funny. And the fact that all he wanted was his gold, and that four-leaf clovers were deadly.
What the hell are you?
I'm a leprechaun, and I've come to get me gold back.
As stereotypical as our characters may be, they were enjoyable. We have the girl that ties everything in, who's just the plain Jane who might be kind of going mental because she's seeing leprechauns. We've got the handy girl.
First of all, you hit on me, remember? And second of all, this is so not about that. You're literally just putting it in wrong.
The bitch drunk.
Sounds like Lila's mother was crazy and that shit's hereditary.
She's actually such a useless shithead. And you have the activist who's trying to keep everything in order, but obviously her plans are gonna make her flustered and such.
No, they stopped using it years ago because they said the water was corrupted, but I tested it myself and it's totally fine. Like, perfect.
These stereotypes really get you involved in the film because I really wanted to see Meredith die. The stuff that she was doing, it just pissed me off, and it gave us characters to root for, and it gave us characters that we really wanted to see die.
And when they died, we had excellent practical effects. And there's no surprise because the director, Steven Kostanski, is part of Astron 6. Everybody probably knows him from his special effects work, but most people would know him as the director of The Void.
And what's really awesome is that they do go all out with their practical effects, and to top it off, we do have the punny one-liners to go with it.
Gross. You give great head.
I feel like we haven't said enough about this, but the outfit of the leprechaun, it looks awesome. They did a really good job with the makeup effects on the leprechaun as well. They did some cool stuff with his facial features and different tricks with him, like ripping his face off for a gag. It looked real and it was funny.
I thought he looked awesome. Even just the way that they use him, he's creepy. Even though he's still funny, he's creepier than you've come to see him in later entries in the film for sure. Some of the shots were actually creepy, him putting his hand out and creeping in shadows, and even seeing his hat like rise from the water and he like delivers a line. There's a few moments that make him a little bit more menacing than we're used to seeing him.
He's also pretty intimidating. Like when he's walking away and they do those like shots of his back, he's like a little green burly boy.
Now what didn't we like? The main issue that I had was probably because they wanted to get a wider audience involved, and that's totally fine. And I'm not really knocking the film for this, but some of the characters like had really cheesy lines, or like they try to be a little too meta.
Yeah, this would have been a better first option. Okay.
Some of them were pretty fun, but I think it did happen too often. And the fact that they even reused, like, taking a selfie with the leprechaun, it's as if they revisit some of their prior jokes too many times.
I also felt that Matt and Andy were very useless to this film. Considering all the other characters were stereotypes and they actually made the story more enjoyable, their characters just seemed as glorified fodder.
Don't ask me to fix your sink.
That's okay. I can fix my own sink.
And they were actually dumbed down significantly just to make the other people feel empowered. And I think that's the wrong way to do things when you're trying to build up strong characters.
Supposed to drill it straight down, otherwise it might get loose.
It's fine to do it this way. I've done it before.
And I just feel like they could have had a little bit more substance to them than they did. I mean, the filmmaker guy was fine enough, but he was still basically background fodder.
His character was Matt, and he just did nothing significant to the film other than the fact that he brought a drone.
Hey, he used his camera to shoot the little guy in the hallway.
Something ran past me and knocked me down. Like an animal or something.
I don't really care about this, but it's worth mentioning. Nobody cared that their friends were dying. And like one girl falls in that person's body and she has blood on her face afterwards for the rest of the film. And she didn't even really care. She was grossed out by the fact that there was blood on her, but she was not concerned with the fact that that person was cut in half and she fell in it.
As much as I liked Lila's character, I didn't like the aspect of her having visions. I'm okay if she has a nightmare or like a dream that scares her, but there's actually a moment in this film that is very important and crucial that I just didn't like because it was her having this vision.
And it's directly to feed an ex machina situation where it's just like, hey, this is the answer. Here's the thing you're looking for. See ya.
It's in one of these boxes?
And that all could have been like negated by them just like searching through the house or stumbling upon it accidentally, not having a ghost tell you what to do.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. I think Leprechaun Returns is an excellent sequel to the original. It stayed true to the origins while introducing us to our new Leprechaun. Linden Porco did a great job. He looked the part, he acted the part, and he even sounded like Warwick Davis. So I know it would have been a tough role, but he killed it. And he actually did kill it. The practical effects in this movie and the type of kills were top notch and actually showed us a couple that we hadn't seen in a long time. And I'm pretty sure there's one that I've never seen in any movie before. The acting across the board was solid. The characters, while stereotypes, were still enjoyable. And I truly hope that they are rebooting this franchise and making this a regular thing. So I'm gonna give this 4 pots of tampons out of 5.
I guess it's your time of the month.
I was actually very worried going into this film, considering that the last one was the WWE Studio Leprechaun Origins, where it was the first time we got to see the Leprechaun recasted. But in this one, it worked. I thought Linden Porco did a fantastic job as a leprechaun. He just took what everyone loved from Warwick Davis's character and made it his own. This film did an excellent job tying in the first Leprechaun movie and furthering the story to make me want more. But this film's real standout is the practical effects and the kills. They're really well done, they're unique and enjoyable, where the story itself does have some loose ends, and I don't necessarily like how every character was portrayed or the cheesy Deus Ex Machina aspect of the film, but overall, it was very good. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3.5 clover juices out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond, and have yourself a very happy St. Patrick's Day.